So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use OttoDev, which is Bolt.new, an open source project, and I've covered it many times. You can find a video at the top there. We're going to run it locally. So we're going to run Bolt.new, which is OttoDev open source project locally, and we are going to use it to create an actual project, an actual application. Now, I was thinking what would be the best project for us to create together, and I can show you the whole process. I haven't really rehearsed this. This is just going to be us going at it. Okay. And so I thought maybe it would be awesome to include something that is AI based, because as you know, that's what I love to build and teach about. And so we're going to create a Chrome extension that will allow us to do something fun. First, you see that I have already the Bolt.new LLM. This is local. Okay, this is open source. And again, I have a video right here. You can go and watch how to install and how it all works. Okay, so I have it running right now. It's on localhost. That is the port. We'll go ahead and open it up. And when I open up, this is what I have here. And also, if you're interested, this is the GitHub where Cole, the man, he is the one who started this project. So go ahead and like this project and go to his YouTube to give him some love. Okay, so I have it running on this port right now, and you can see I'm going to be using Anthropic Claude 3.5 Sonnet because I found it really good at spitting out code fast and reliably. Okay, you can use other models as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started real quick here. So I'm going to get started by saying build a Chrome extension, take a user input, could be notes, ideas, etc. And then they would hit a button to summarize the contents. Start simple. Okay, let's go ahead and give it a try. And so the idea here is hopefully this is going to know how to create an extension, because when you create a Chrome extension, there are a few things you have to be aware of. And I can tell right away, I've never really built many Chrome extensions, but the thing is that you have to have with this manifest.json, which essentially glues everything together, makes it so that things actually work. So let's see if this works. Okay. So it looks like we have here, of course, if we go to preview, nothing is going to show because this is not just a web app. Okay. Okay. So we have manifest.json, popup.html, pop.json, style CSS, and okay, let's see if this is actually going to be something that would work. This is exactly what I was going to ask. It says here, I've created a basic Chrome extension that allows users to input text and summarize it. Here's a breakdown of the file. So it has manifest.json, popup.html, style.css, popup.js, and very good. And it tells us what to do. It says here, create a new directory for your extension and save these files. Okay. And open Chrome and go there. So let's go ahead and get started. So I already have this folder here. Let's go ahead and get all those files that were created and add them here. So the good news is that I think we can download all of the code. I'm going to download that. It's zipped, and I'm going to open that up and pull all of that and put in here. Okay, so we have everything. It's a little bit smaller, and then pop.js. So this is the, I'm assuming, the JavaScript file that's going to be run in the background, which is going to go ahead and pull information from the HTML, and we have the CSS. Okay, let's see again. Go back to the instructions. It says open Chrome and go to Chrome extensions as such. What else? It says enable developer mode in the top right corner. So mine is already enabled. There we go. It says enable developer, click load unpacked and select the directory. So load unpacked. And we're going to go ahead and select the directory where we have that, so which is this one for me. So find where you put it, and you can see extension loaded. So if I scroll all the way down, you'll see that I should have this guy here. Okay, so what I will do then, I think what we can do, we can click this button here, which is extensions, and then we can go and find it. You can see we have text summarizer. I'm going to pin it. So now if I go like this, and look at that, we have a simple, very simple Chrome extension. So I'm going to say hello. And of course, when you click, nothing Oh, look at that. It even says hello summarizer. Very good. Or hello, whatever that is. It works. So we are just going for it. So now let's go back here, and I want to make this a little bit better. I'm going to say, please make it so that I am able to use Ollama that's running locally. Let's say Llama 3.2 endpoint to interact with the model. The idea is when the button is clicked, then contents are then passed to the model to summarize. So summarize it, something like that. For now, let's see what's going to happen. Maybe there's a lot of things that I'm asking for, but let's see. All right, so it may take a little while, so let's just wait. Okay, so it seems to me that this is actually stuck. So let me try, and I'm going to ask again. Okay, so looks like this time things worked, and even knows that when it comes to Ollama models, they're served at 11434 endpoint. Very cool. So let's see if the code actually reflects that. Okay, there we go. Okay, this looks good. I am going to go and just make this larger, or close that altogether. And let's just copy this code. Actually, let's see if we change manifest. I think manifest was also changed. Okay, let's just copy manifest first. Go to manifest. Let's get all of this code, pop.js. And what I can also do, I believe I can sync. Ah, very good. I can go ahead and sync to the Chrome extension. Very good. Yeah. View files. Save changes. Okay, this is good. So you can actually, I had forgotten about this. You can actually sync instead of copying everything. I'm going to go ahead and sync with what we have here. Let's go back to our extensions, and I believe what we can also do, let's go ahead and update. Okay, so we updated this guy here. You can see now it changed, so I think everything should be good. And let me see, so it is this guy here, and I'm gonna give it a try. Just get some text somewhere so we can test it out. Let's summarize. Okay, an error occurred while summarizing the text. Please make sure Ollama is running. Okay, so in this case, I know Ollama is indeed running. Let's go ahead and see errors. Is that a thing you can do? You can see that console error and shows everything. Let's go ahead and look at the code. So the other thing we need to do here, this is what I know, because we know AI, we know Ollama. This is putting Llama 2. This should be Llama 3.2. If you had that, that probably should work. But in this case here, we only have Llama.3. Now, this, if you look at the code, if you understand a little bit of code, you should, hopefully. As you can see that we have the prompt here. Now, this is JavaScript, but it's very simple to read. So we have the prompt here. Please summarize the following text, and passes the text along. And then what we do here, we're actually doing a post to this endpoint here. Now, we know this because when it comes to Ollama, when you're running Ollama, by the way, you have to have Ollama installed and running in the background for this to work. And also you have to have Llama 3.2 set up. If you don't know how to do that, I have a video somewhere in my channel, or I'll put somewhere where you can go and check out how to set up Ollama and its models. And so when you run it locally, this is where we have something going on. This is the endpoint. So you go 11434/API and generate. So this is the actual function that's called to call and generate something using the, in this case, Llama 3.2. Okay, so we're saying stream here. We don't want to stream, which means you're gonna just give me the whole result. And what I can see here, let's go ahead and save this real quick. I'm gonna clear, and let's go and update, and let's clear again. Put it there and summarize. Okay, seems like we're still having this error. Please make sure Ollama is running. Ollama is indeed running. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to say getting this message. Also, make sure that the model is Ollama 3.2. Let's see what's going to happen. Okay, Ollama serve, Ollama list. Okay, we already have that. Okay, very good. So this is really awesome, actually. So what's happening here, it's giving us some sort of ways to troubleshoot to make sure that things are working. So what I'm going to do, we're going to curl this. I'm going to copy this. This is actually impressive. And I'm going to come out here, and I have my terminal open, and I'm going to copy that. Now, this is not going to work because I know that I don't have this model. So I'm going to change the model. Instead of Ollama 2.3, all of that, it's just going to be 2.3 because that's what I have locally. So if all goes well, that means I'm going to be able to hit this localhost 11434 API, which is local for Ollama, to get some sort of results. So where we can go and get the large language model. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so it looks like model Llama 2. It's got to be Llama 3.2. There we go. My bad. So that was my bad. 3.2. Let's hit enter. Okay, very good. So that means it is working, but I have to make sure that Llama 3.2, that's what we have here. Okay. In this case, I'm going to just go ahead and reload everything and test it out. Run. Okay. We still have issues. Let me go ahead and click here. This console, catch error. Okay, let's copy this. Go back here. I'm going to say having issues here. Okay, I have to come back here somehow. And let me just make sure to tell it to use Llama 3.2 so that we don't have to do this. Make sure to always use Llama 3.2 for the model and not this. Okay, can update pop up. Okay, you can see it updated and looks really good. Okay, let's go ahead and sync. Go update and clear. Okay, now we get another error here. Failed to get summary from Ollama. Status 403. Please check the console for more details. Okay, so I'm going to right click here and say inspect. And let's go to console. And let's see what we get. Okay, so we're doing what developers do here, folks. So I hope you're enjoying this. All right, so let's make this a little bit larger and see what's happening. So we see headers here, prototype. Headers, everything is fine, seems like. So it says here, failed to load resources, server responding with status 403 forbidden under this generate. Okay, so looks like this is forbidden, maybe. Okay, so Ollama is running. That's good. But somehow, if I go API, generate, not found. Okay, let me copy this and come here. This is generating page, this error here. So let's see what the model is gonna do. Okay, let's copy this again to make sure this works. It worked before, but let's make sure. Okay, so it's working because you can see all these results are being streamed. Okay, let's go ahead and just sync these files because it updated all of that. Okay, let's update. Okay, so we're having the same issues. Let's go ahead and inspect again. Okay, let's see, error body. So pop 54, that is what's 743. Let's open this one here. Okay, let's just copy this. Go back here. Getting this error. I didn't get everything, but let's see what this will do. Okay, that's right. Okay, let's go ahead and sync. Go to extensions, clear, and say update. Okay, we're still having some issues here. Okay, so we can see the request body says model, Ollama 3.2, prompt please do all of that. This is really good. So we're seeing exactly what's being passed along. This is because the model that we, when we asked Bolt, we added some of these logging here. Okay, very good. Stream is false. So the response request body is exactly what we would expect, and the prompt is exactly that. But yet the response looks like the problem is always here. Okay, we know that we have Ollama and everything, and we know that this actually works because we've tried that. All right, so let's try this. So if the curl command works but the extension doesn't, okay, it does. So let's make sure again. I'm gonna do it again just to show you that this works. Okay, so it works because we're getting a model and we're getting the response. This is really good, very good. So it works, so which tells us we should go to the second way of hopefully working with this. So I think I know the problem. Actually, we need to do this. So we need to actually create this proxy server so we can run a server where we can then use that to get to the model. I think this is going to work. Okay, so looks like after putting the code, we loaded this extension. So we have proxy.server. Let me see. We have proxy.server was created. And I'm going to make sure, okay, save the code. And then we do this. Okay, let's go ahead and go like that. Okay, everything is good. Now let's save the code as proxy server. At this point, we should be able to see that we have proxy server, which is this. Okay, very good. So we have cores and everything. Okay, so what do we do next? It says here, run npm init that. So you need to, of course, have installed Node, okay, for this to work. So let's do that. Very good. So I know now because we have this package.json. Okay, what do we do next? Install required packages. So we need to install all of these packages here. I'm going to copy all of this and run. So it's going to install these packages internally. That way we have this server running, which is going to serve our application. I think that's what's happening. All right. So once we start the proxy server, so we're going to say node and run. Okay, let's copy that because everything is in the same file or folder directory. We should just do like that. And you can see we should have something on port 3000. So what is happening here from with the code, when we hit this /API from this here, let me go ahead and go to port 3000 to show you. See, it's going to say, indeed, Ollama is running. So this is good. The reason why is because when we get to here, what we're going to serve is this localhost 11434, which is indeed for Ollama. All right. All right, indeed. This is good. This is good. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back and update the fetch URL in your extension to this. So it's going to be API generate. So let's see if that was updated. Let's go to pop. I'm going to say, can you update pop up.js to include the new endpoint? Because I don't think it did update. Let's see. Maybe it did. I want to see if it updated. Looks like it didn't. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, it's doing that. Local has 3. Okay, it updated. I was distracted. Okay, let's go ahead and click that, and everything should be updated. And hopefully this time, I'm going to just go ahead and update and clear all those errors. And click here. Let's hope for the best this time. I'm going to go and paste something. Oh no, what's going on? Okay, let's test here. If I say generate, okay, we're still having the same. So page not found. Because we don't have that endpoint. That is the problem. Look, more details about request response. Very good. Okay, let's try this curl here, see if it works. Okay, so it's passing in some content, prompt, hello world, stream, and all that. Let's copy that. It'll be good test to see if it works. So run. Okay, so it works when we hit this API generate, right? So we go straight to that. It works here. But what if we actually add or the curl works, but the implementation in code still results in 403. Can you take a look at the code where we are passing the model, etc.? Let's see what's going to do. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We're debugging and getting some help. Okay, so it looks like it's likely that there's a discrepancy in how we are formatting our sending the requests. Let's review and update the code to match successfully curl, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now looks like proxy server and pop.js were saved or updated, and the request body is now constructed as a separate object. Very good. Let's update the proxy server to ensure it handles everything. Okay, we can install this. Let's go ahead and install this. First, let me go ahead and sync all the files, and then let's go ahead and install that, and then let's go back here because I'm not sure if the server is doing hot reload. Let's rerun again. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and check. Okay, so I did a little bit more prompting for time, and let's see. Looks like server, we have a new file called server. If you look at server, that's something else. Go ahead and sync all those files and see. And apparently, let's go ahead and copy this and install these new dependencies. Some of them already are there. So let's go ahead and check. Let's stop this real quick. Okay, getting all those dependencies. And of course, now we're using that. And then let's go ahead and say node server. So we're going to run a different one at this point. Okay, there it is. And you can see the server now is doing something a little bit different. And we have the health check endpoint. Let me go ahead and check that out real quick. So if I go health, it's got to be a local host. Let's get rid of this. Okay, I don't think I need API. Let's go. Okay, very good. Status server is healthy. So that means we've rerouting everything to get this to work, hopefully. And so that means you can see if I go to health, I should get this, which is what we got. And if we hit the summarize endpoint, this is where we are going to be able to get that. Now let's go to our pop.js to see if that actually has changed. Okay, very good. Now it's calling this summarize endpoint, which hopefully is going to give us the results. Okay, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's update. Okay. All right. Looks like, oh, very good. And there we go. It works. Okay, so this is the thing about these tools, is that you have to do some tinkering around to get to the right results. But at least you can see it works. Now we see here, to summarize, here is a concise summary of the text. The Qwen 2.5 coder generating blah, 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 and looks really good. Now, what I can also do, because it's all about coding, guys, I can go ahead and make this a little bit better. So let's go back to, because we know the main functionality is working now. Let's go ahead and say, please make the UI, that's user interface, better by using tailwind, and also add a toggle button for dark mode. Something like this. Let's see if that's going to change anything. And if so, we are going to see. Okay, so we have here manifest file to include necessary things. Okay, that's fine. And pop.js, make sure it doesn't break anything. That's the hope already. Okay, let's go ahead and sync these files. And let's make sure the health is still working. Very good. Let's go to extension and update. And now, well, that doesn't look good, does it? Oh, okay, doesn't look good at all. All right, let's run it to make sure that we didn't break everything. It's kind of funny. All right, okay, we didn't break anything. All right, it's good, but this doesn't look good. Actually, what we had looked way better. Okay, I'm going to say the styling is broken and looks really barren. Okay, so now we're going to focus only on pop.html, well, maybe pop.js as well, because you're going to use some other libraries and so forth. Let's see. But at least we know that the main part of the whole thing, it's actually working. Okay, so it says change what need to change. Let's go ahead and sync those files and do exactly what we've been doing. Can update, clear everything. Okay, look at that. Okay, this is not working, but at least we see that something looks way, way better. So I'm going to copy again the same thing that we had before and run. And look at that. Here's a concise summary. I'm sorry, it's too small. Maybe I can make this a little bit larger and change, make sure that the toggle works. Okay, say looks better, but make sure that the toggle button works. Dark mode. And make the text and buttons a bit larger. Let's see. This is good. This is really good. All right, so it did what it needs to do, and let's go ahead and just sync the files and trust that these large language models are able to help us, which they haven't disappointed us too much today, at least. Okay, so updated. Let's go here. Okay, wow, very good. Text is a little bit larger. Let's put all of that, summarize. Voila, we have it. Very good. So I can see, say, today was a great day and blah, 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 blah. Let's get and summarize that. There's no text to summarize. You can provide actual text and I'll be happy to help. Okay, that's another problem here. Hello world, common programming. Okay, very good. Look at that. So it's doing its thing. And let's see if this works. Aha, there we go, folks. We're able to get this to work. We even have the dark mode there. Ah, very, very cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is what I wanted to show you to see how we could use the tools that we have. In this case, we're using Bolt.new, but not the original one. We're using an open source that is running locally. And I can show you that it's running locally because you can see it is indeed running locally here. And of course, you can see that it says here, if I go back to where it's running, this is localhost. So this tells you that we're running this local. And we're able to pass in the prompt and get to build a very simple application that is leveraging local large language model, Ollama in this case, where we're able to summarize the text. Now, this is very simple in a way, but you can see the power of what we can do, right? Using this tool, we may not be programmers, or strong programmers, or we've never done this. We may not have ever done this before, in this case, creating a Chrome application or Chrome extension. But you can see that we're able to do that fairly easily. We had to do some prompting, but that's part of the whole progress, the whole process here. And at the end, we have something that is very usable, right? And all of this was using OttoDev, in this case, Bolt.new, okay, locally, and using Ollama model locally. Hopefully this sparks some ideas for you to actually go ahead and start playing with these tools to actually build real world applications. Now here's what I would do. I would take this code, or at least understand how the mechanics of this, and try to build simple but useful AI solutions. Now we're using locally here to simplify things, Ollama, Llama 3.2, but you can also use OpenAI APIs. You can use any models out there to guide or to sustain this application, to carry this Chrome extension. And once you have something that is useful, something that doesn't even have to be novel, but something that is actually useful, you can share with your friends by putting these Chrome extensions, adding this to the Chrome store, I think that's what's called, where people from all over the world can actually use it. And I think you can also add monetization into it, where people could potentially pay monthly or one-time fee and so forth. This is something that I would think about doing and actually go ahead and do it. Let me know what you think of this, and also if you want to dive deeper into building AI solutions that solve real world problems, I would love to have you in our community, the AI Guild, and this is the place where we have like-minded people who are wanting or who are building real-world solutions using AI every day. We have calls where we talk about what we're building. I give presentations. There's courses there, Q&A. So it's a very tight community that I would love for you to join. All right. So I have a link in the descriptions as well. Thank you so much. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time.